I never thought I'd be the guy who'd actually use a doomsday bunker. When I first started construction on this place back in 2019, Jessica thought I was losing my mind. We'd just gotten married, bought the property up in rural Washington, 40 acres of nothing but Douglas fir and silence. And I told her I wanted to spend $250,000 digging a hole in the ground. She looked at me like I'd suggested we buy a spaceship. "Brian," she said, standing in our half-finished kitchen with paint samples in her hands. "We don't even have curtains yet." But I'd seen the writing on the wall. Not zombie writing, obviously. Nobody sees that coming. I was worried about economic collapse, maybe civil unrest, solar flares, EMPs, the usual prepper checklist. My dad had been military, obsessed with self-reliance. And I guess some of that soaked in deeper than I realized. Made good money in software development, worked remote, and honestly the project excited me. Engineering problem-solving on a massive scale. Took 3 years to build. Had to hire contractors who didn't ask too many questions, which meant paying premium rates and signing NDAs. The entrance was hidden inside our barn, beneath a hydraulic platform that looked like a regular concrete floor. 20 feet down, reinforced concrete walls 2 feet thick, lead lining, air filtration system that could handle chemical, biological, or radiological threats. Hydroponics lab. Water reclamation. Diesel generators with enough fuel for 2 years, plus solar panels disguised as regular barn roofing feeding battery banks. Septic system. The works. 3,500 square feet of underground living space designed to keep 2 people alive indefinitely. Jessica eventually came around. I think it was when I showed her the layout. Actual bedroom with a real bed, not some Cold War bunk situation. Full kitchen, bathroom with a shower, living area. I'd built us a home, just happened to be buried. "You're insane," she said, but she was smiling. "But if the world ends, I guess I'm glad you're my kind of insane." The world ended on a Tuesday in March. We'd been watching the news out of Philadelphia for 3 days. Some kind of rabies mutation, they said. Aggressive behavior, biting, spreading fast. The CDC was monitoring the situation. By Friday, it was in 12 states. By Sunday, the president was dead, and the broadcasts were just emergency signals. We went down on Monday night. Didn't even pack. Everything was already here. I'd been rotating supplies, keeping inventory, testing systems. Jessica grabbed photo albums and her grandmother's quilt. I took my dad's service pistol and the go bag with documents. Sealed the barn door behind us, hit the hydraulic switch, and watched the platform lower us into the earth. Haven't been back up for any longer than absolutely necessary in 9 months. The first week was the hardest, psychologically speaking. We'd sit in the living area. I'd furnished it with a real couch, armchairs, bookshelves, even hung paintings on the concrete walls, and listened to the audio feed from the security cameras. I'd installed 6 cameras around the property. 4 went dark in the first 72 hours, torn down or smashed. The 2 that survived showed us more than we wanted to see. They moved in a way that wasn't human anymore. Jerky, purposeless, until something caught their attention. Then, singular focus. We watched a deer get taken down by 7 of them in the north pasture. Watched them crouch over it, feeding. The audio picked up sounds I still hear when I'm trying to sleep. Jessica stopped watching after that. I kept monitoring, documenting. Old habit. The shelter's layout is practical but comfortable. Entrance corridor has the armory and decontamination area. I'd planned for chemical threats, but it works for biological too. Airlock system, UV sterilization, chemical shower. Main living quarters branch off. Bedroom to the left, bathroom beside it. Kitchen and dining area straight ahead. Living room beyond that. The eastern wing has my office and the mechanical room. Generators, air handlers, water systems, and battery banks. Western wing is the hydroponics lab and storage. That hydroponics setup is what makes this work long-term. I'd studied it obsessively. Vertical farming, LED grow lights on timers mimicking sunlight cycles, nutrient film technique for the lettuce and herbs, deep water culture for the tomatoes. 40 growing towers producing a rotating crop of vegetables. Not gourmet variety, but we've got calories and vitamins. Lettuce, kale, chard, tomatoes, peppers, green beans, cucumbers, even strawberries, though they're finicky. Jessica took over management after the first month. She'd been a high school biology teacher, had the patience for it. I'd check the systems, pH levels, nutrient concentration, light timers, water pumps. But she did the actual cultivation. Pruning, harvesting, replanting. Gave her something to focus on besides the fact we might never see the sun again. Protein was the challenge I'd half solved. Freeze-dried stores would last years. But I'd also set up a small aquaponics system. Tilapia tank, 100 gallons, integrated with the hydroponics. Fish waste feeds the plants. Plants filter the water. We eat fish once a week, let the population maintain itself. I'd also stored protein powder, canned goods, rice and beans in quantities that seemed paranoid before and practical now. The water situation is what I'm proudest of. We're tapped into an underground aquifer 300 feet down. Pump pulls it up, runs through filters, UV sterilization. We shower, use the toilet, drink, cook. Gray water from shower and sinks gets treated and recycled into the hydroponic system. A black water processes through the septic tank, which I can pump out if needed. But the system is designed to break down waste efficiently. We're not drinking yesterday's shower, but we're reusing what we can. Power comes from the solar panels and diesel backup. The panels produce more than we need during the day. Batteries store the excess. We run minimal power at night, emergency lighting, essential systems. The diesels only kick on if batteries drop below 20%, which hasn't happened yet. I conserve obsessively. Jessica jokes that I've become my father, timing showers and turning off lights. But it's about sustainability now. We've settled into routines because routines keep you sane. Morning starts around 7. I wake up, check the systems. Power levels, air quality, water pressure, camera feeds. Oh, Jessica starts coffee in the kitchen. Real coffee, because I'd stocked 2 years' worth of vacuum-sealed beans, and we ration it to 1 cup each per day. We eat breakfast together. Eggs from powder, toast from the bread machine using flour I'd stored, and yeast we keep alive. Vegetables from the garden. Feels almost normal until you remember the concrete walls. She tends the plants in the morning. I do maintenance. There's always something. Filters to change, connections to tighten, software updates to run on the automation systems. I'd built redundancy into everything, but that means more components to monitor. Afternoons we keep flexible. Reading, exercise, projects. I downloaded thousands of books onto hard drives before everything collapsed. Jessica paints now, using supplies I'd stored not because I thought we'd need art, but because she'd mentioned wanting to get back into it years ago. Her watercolors cover one wall of the living room. Landscapes mostly, places we used to go. The coast, the mountains, memory paintings. I work out in the corridor. Push-ups, sit-ups, resistance bands. Staying fit matters. If I have to go outside, I need to be capable. Evenings we cook together, eat dinner, talk. Sometimes we play cards, sometimes we just sit in silence. The air handling system creates white noise, a constant low hum you stop noticing until it cycles off during maintenance mode. And then the silence is so complete, it feels heavy. We sleep together in a real bed with real sheets, and it almost feels like before. Except Jessica sometimes grabs my arm in the middle of the night, sudden and tight, like she's afraid I'll disappear. Sex still happens. Wasn't sure it would, given everything. But human bodies don't care about the apocalypse. It's different, though. Quieter, more desperate. Like we're proving we're still alive. The first time I went outside after we sealed ourselves in was 2 months in. The surveillance feeds showed the property had gone wild. Overgrowth, branches down from a storm we'd heard but not seen. 3 infected had been wandering the area regularly, but they'd drifted off. I needed to check the solar panels, clear debris that was shading 2 of the arrays. Jessica didn't want me to go. "The power's fine," she said. "We're at 90% capacity. That's 10% loss. It'll get worse." "Send the drone." I'd tried. The DJI unit I'd bought for exactly this purpose had great camera resolution, but couldn't clear branches. I needed hands topside, suited up in the decontamination area. Tactical gear I'd bought from military surplus, boots, cargo pants, long sleeves despite the spring warmth I knew was up there. Gloves, respirator mask, even though the contagion vectors weren't airborne as far as anyone had determined before the broadcast stopped. Ballistic vest because I'm paranoid and had the money to be. Weapons, my dad's Beretta M9 on my hip, 15 rounds. OR-15 slung across my chest, 2 30-round magazines. Combat knife on my belt. Overkill maybe, but I'd rather have it. The hydraulic platform raised slowly. I'd disabled the barn doors remotely, set them to swing open automatically. Daylight hit me like a physical thing when I surfaced. 2 months of LED bulbs, and then actual sunlight. Had to squint even with the respirator's tinted visor, and stepped off the platform into the barn. Dust everywhere, undisturbed. That was good. Moved to the door, rifle up, scanning. The property looked abandoned and overgrown. 2 months isn't long, but nature doesn't waste time. Grass knee-high in the fields, branches down from the big fir near the house. I'd built the house too, though we'd only lived in it 6 months before moving underground. 2-story craftsman, our dream home. Door was open now, hanging crooked. Something had been inside. Didn't matter. House wasn't the mission. Moved to the barn's exterior ladder, climbed to the roof. Solar panels were intact but covered in fir needles and debris. Spent 40 minutes clearing them, checking connections, wiping down the photovoltaic surfaces. The whole time I was exposed, visible. Kept the rifle in reach, heard them before I saw them. That sound they make, wet and raspy, like breathing through fluid. Came from the tree line east of the barn. I froze, hand on the rifle. 2 of them stumbled into the clearing. Used to be people. Man and a woman, I thought, though it was hard to tell. Clothes torn, skin gray-purple with decomposition. The man was missing an arm at the elbow. The woman's jaw hung wrong, like the hinge had broken. They hadn't seen me yet. Moving aimless, that wandering pattern. I stayed absolutely still. The roof was 15 feet up. I didn't know if they could climb. Didn't want to find out. The male rotated toward the barn, stood there swaying, looking without seeing. Then his head snapped up, locked eyes with me. The sound he made brought the woman's attention around. Then they were both staring, and that wet, raspy breathing got faster, excited. They rushed the barn wall. Not running, but that awful jerking sprint. Hit the wall below me, started clawing. The male jumped, fingers scraping the roof edge 6 feet below where I stood. I shot him in the face. The AR's report echoed across the property, obscenely loud after months of silence. His head snapped back, body crumpling. The woman didn't react to his fall, just kept clawing at the wall, making sounds that might have been words once. Put 2 rounds in her skull. She dropped. Then I waited, rifle up, scanning. That gunfire would attract anything in earshot. Nothing came. Took me 3 minutes to stop shaking enough to climb down. The bodies were still twitching, nerves firing randomly. I didn't touch them, didn't need to verify. Back inside the barn, hit the platform switch, descended into the earth. Jessica was waiting at the bottom of the shaft, eyes wide. I heard shots. 2 of them, dead now. She didn't ask if I was okay. Just pulled me into the decontamination shower, helped me strip out of the gear. I stood under the UV lights and chemical mist, watching her through the glass. She was crying silently. That was 4 months ago. I've been topside 6 times since then, always quick, always armed. Cleared more panels, checked the exterior air intakes, verified the hidden vent shafts weren't blocked. Each time I see more of them. They cluster sometimes, 10 or 15 in a group, moving together toward some stimulus I can't identify. Other times they're solo, wandering. The worst was 3 weeks ago. I'd gone up at dawn, early, figuring they'd be less active. They needed to refuel the backup diesel from the storage tank buried near the tree line. 500-gallon tank, hand pump. Easy job. I was pumping fuel into jerry cans when I heard a voice. Help me. Human voice. Female. Coming from the woods. I froze, hand on the pump. Every instinct screamed trap, but it was a human voice. Please, someone help me. Sounded young, terrified. I grabbed the rifle, moved toward the tree line, safety off, finger on the guard. Where are you? Here. Oh God, please hurry. 50 feet into the woods I found her. Teenage girl, maybe 16, tied to a tree with duct tape, wrists behind her back, ankles bound, crying, hyperventilating. Looked like she'd been there a while, skin pale, lips cracked. I approached carefully, rifle up, scanning. Who did this? Men. 2 men. They left me. Please. That's when I saw her eyes. They were wrong. Pupils blown wide, no reaction to the light filtering through the canopy. And the way she was breathing, too fast, too shallow. I stepped back. Please don't leave me, she said, and lunged. The duct tape ripped. She'd chewed through it, I realized. Used her own voice as bait. Must have been human recently, some shred of mimicry left in the infection. I put 3 round center mass. She went down thrashing. Stood there breathing hard, staring at the body. She'd been human. Recently, still had color in her skin, no decomposition. Infection in early stages. Started backing toward the property. That's when I heard the others. They came from deeper in the woods. 5, 6, more. That raspy breathing echoing. They'd heard the gunfire. I ran, made it to the barn. Slammed through the door, hit the platform switch. It lowered agonizingly slow while fists pounded the barn walls. Sealed the entrance, stood in the airlock, hyperventilating. Jessica found me sitting on the floor, still in my gear 20 minutes later. Didn't go topside for 2 weeks after that. But you have to, eventually. Systems need maintenance. And if I'm being honest, I need it too. The confinement gets to you. 4 walls, recycled air, the same 3,500 square feet. Going up, even with the risk, breaks the monotony. Today's trip is necessary. One of the cameras finally died, not damaged, just component failure. I need to replace it. The camera covers the south approach, our blind spot otherwise. Jessica's in the garden when I gear up. She doesn't watch me anymore, just keeps working. He's trimming dead leaves from the tomato plants. "Be quick," she says without looking up. "Always am." The platform raises. Daylight hits. It's summer now. July heat. The barn interior is an oven compared to our climate-controlled 70 degrees below. The camera is mounted on a pole near the property fence, 200 yards from the barn. I've got the replacement unit in a pack, tools on my belt, rifle slung. I move fast across the overgrown field. Grass is waist-high now. Could hide anything. The pole is intact. Climb up, disconnect the dead unit, wire in the new one. Takes 15 minutes. The whole time I'm exposed, elevated, visible. Hear that breathing sound behind me. Rotate slow, rifle coming around. There's a kid standing 30 feet away. Boy, maybe 8 years old. Blonde hair, Superman t-shirt. Standing absolutely still, just watching me. I freeze. He's not moving like they move. No swaying, no wandering, just standing. "Hey," I say quietly. He doesn't respond. "You okay?" He tilts his head, blinks, then he smiles. It's wrong, too wide. And his teeth are red. He rushes me. I fall off the ladder trying to bring the rifle around. Hit the ground hard, pain shooting through my shoulder. He's on me before I can aim, hands grabbing, mouth opening. I get the knife out, drive it up under his ribcage. He makes a sound like air leaving a balloon. Goes limp. Lie there under his weight, breathing hard. He's light. Too light. Feels like holding a bird. Push him off. Stand up shaking. He's dead. Actually dead now, whatever he was. Check myself. No bites, no scratches. Gear held. Finish mounting the camera with trembling hands. I test the feed on my phone, image clear. Then I'm moving back toward the barn, fast, scanning constantly. Something's different about them. They're changing, adapting maybe, or the infection is evolving. That girl with the tape, this kid with the patient stalking. They're getting smarter. Back underground, I strip and shower, let the chemicals burn against my skin. Jessica's waiting when I emerge. Camera's fixed. She nods, sees something in my face, but doesn't ask. We eat dinner in silence. Fish and vegetables, same as always. The routine continues because the routine is all we have. Later, in bed, she speaks into the darkness. "How long can we do this?" "As long as we need to." That's not an answer, Brian. I don't have a better one. The monitoring station in my office shows all 6 camera feeds. I've repositioned the working ones to cover overlapping fields of view. The south approach camera I just installed is showing the field, the fence line, the woods beyond. Something moves in the tree line. I lean closer to the screen. Can't make out details in the shadows. But there's definitely something there. Multiple somethings. Standing still, watching the property. They've never done that before. Always moving, wandering. Now they're watching. I add it to my log. I've been keeping detailed notes since day 1. Observations, patterns, changes. Maybe it means nothing. Maybe it means everything. Jessica's painting when I come back to the living room. A new piece, something abstract. Dark colors, lots of red. That's different, I say. Felt like trying something new. I watch her work. Her hands are steady. Mine haven't stopped shaking since the kid. 3 months pass, summer into fall. The hydroponics continue producing. We maintain our routines. The surveillance feeds show the infected population around the property growing. They cluster more now, groups of 20 or 30. Still waiting in the tree line, watching. I go topside once a month, necessary maintenance only. Quick trips, heavily armed. See more evidence of intelligence each time. They're using tools now, rocks, branches. Found one trying to dig at the barn foundation. Had to put it down from the roof. Jessica's paintings are getting darker. The living room wall is covered now, barely any concrete visible. All reds and blacks, abstract violence. We should talk about it, I tell her one night. Talk about what? What you're feeling. I'm fine. The paintings are just paintings, Brian. Let me have something. So I do. In October, the first generator fails. Not dies, just starts running rough. I spend 3 days troubleshooting, find a worn fuel injector. I've got spares, swap it out, but it's a reminder. Everything breaks eventually. I've got redundancy, but redundancy has limits. Start running more frequent diagnostics. Check every system, every backup. Find small problems. Fix them before they become big ones. It's constant now, the maintenance. Feels like the bunker is decaying around us, and I'm just slowing the inevitable. Jessica notices me spending more time in the mechanical room. It's falling apart, isn't it? No, just keeping ahead of normal wear. How long do we have? Years, decades maybe. If what? If nothing major breaks? If the infection dies out? If someone comes to save us? She's looking at me with this expression I can't read. We're going to die down here, Brian. You know that, right? Even if everything works perfectly, we're just going to die in this hole you built. We're alive. That matters. Does it? She goes to the bedroom. I hear the door close, not quite a slam. I stand in the mechanical room listening to the generators hum, the air handlers cycle. The pumps circulate water. All these systems I built to keep us alive. But alive for what? November brings the first real snow. I watch it on the cameras, white accumulation erasing the property. The infected don't seem bothered. They wander through it, leaving tracks. I count 43 individuals over a 3-day period. The population is growing, or they're congregating, drawn to something. I wonder if they know we're here. The bunker's insulation is excellent. Minimal thermal signature, no light leakage, sound dampening. But maybe they can sense us somehow. Smell us through the air vents, hear the generator vibrations through the earth. I start running the diesels at minimum necessary output. Switch more systems to battery power. We're living quieter, dimmer. Jessica notices. Why are we whispering? I didn't realize we were. Just being cautious. They can't hear us through 20 feet of concrete. Probably not. But I keep whispering anyway. December. We've been underground 9 months. Jessica stopped painting. Stopped doing much of anything except the basic garden maintenance. She sits in the living room, staring at her artwork. I try to engage her. Want to play cards? I could make something special for dinner. There's freeze-dried ice cream. I'm pregnant. The words just hang there. What? I'm pregnant, Brian. About 8 weeks. I sit down. The math doesn't work. We've been careful mostly. Except that week in September when we weren't. When we were trying to feel human again. Are you sure? I took 3 tests, all positive. You stocked pregnancy tests, remember? And your comprehensive medical supplies. There's an edge to her voice. We can handle this. I've got medical supplies, training from the first aid courses. We can handle it. Brian, I'm going to give birth underground. Our child will be born in a bunker. Never see the sun, never meet another person. Like just us in concrete and recycled air and fucking tomato plants. It's not ideal. It's a nightmare. She stands up, pacing. What if something goes wrong? What if I need a C-section? What if the baby has complications? You going to deliver a baby and perform surgery? You going to be a pediatrician? I'll do whatever it takes. You always do. Build the bunker, maintain the systems, keep us alive. But alive isn't living, Brian, and I can't bring a child into this. The silence stretches. What are you saying? I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. She goes to the bedroom. I hear crying through the door. I sit in the living room, surrounded by her dark paintings, and think about a baby crying in the concrete dark, and I don't have answers. The medical supplies are comprehensive. I'd stocked for trauma, illness, on chronic conditions. There's even surgical equipment, though I've never used it. I'd taken courses, first responder, emergency medicine, even watched YouTube videos on emergency childbirth before the internet died. But I'm not a doctor. I spend the night reading medical textbooks on the tablet. Pregnancy complications, delivery procedures, infant care. The more I read, the more I realize how much can go wrong. Jessica's right. If she needs a hospital, we don't have one. If the baby needs specialized care, we don't have it. But going topside means certain death. The infected have multiplied. Even if we made it to a vehicle, drove toward a city, what would we find? More infected. Maybe survivors, maybe not. Maybe people who'd kill us for our supplies. The bunker is safe. The bunker is a tomb. Both things are true. In the morning, when I find Jessica in the garden, she's working mechanically, pruning, not looking at the plants. I've been thinking, I say. Don't. We need to talk about options. What options, Brian? There are no options. We're trapped down here and I'm pregnant and that's it. We could leave. She stops pruning, looks at me. Leave. Get in the truck, drive south. Try to find a settlement, other survivors. There have to be safe zones somewhere. You don't believe that. I want to believe it. You built this place because you didn't believe civilization would hold. You were right. And now you want to walk away from the one thing keeping us alive? I want to give our child a chance at something more than concrete walls. She's crying again. There is no more, Brian. This is it. This bunker, these plants, you and me. That's the whole world now. She's probably right. But I can't accept it. Over the next week, I make preparations for a topside expedition. Not just a quick maintenance run, a real trip. I need to see what's out there. Need to know if there's anything beyond the property worth risking everything for. I load the truck. It's been sitting in the barn for 9 months. I'd run it monthly the first few months to keep the battery charged, but stopped when the infected population grew. Now I'm hoping it starts. Fuel tank is half full. I've got jerry cans of diesel I can load. Supplies in the back, water, food, weapons, ammunition, body armor, medical kit. Enough to survive a week if needed. Jessica watches me prepare, and you're really doing this. I need to know. And if you don't come back, I will. Promise me. I promise. It's a lie. We both know it. The morning of the expedition, I wake up at dawn. Jessica's still sleeping. I watch her for a long moment, her face peaceful, hand resting on her still flat stomach. Whatever I find out there, I'm coming back to her. Suit up. Full tactical gear, every weapon I own. The Beretta, the AR-15, a shotgun I'd stored for home defense. Combat knife. 200 rounds of mixed ammunition. I'm a walking armory. Jessica meets me in the airlock. How long? 3 days, 4 at most. The bunker can run itself that long? Everything's automated. You just need to check the boards once a day, make sure nothing's alarming. If something goes wrong, I know the protocols, Brian. Thanks, you've drilled me enough. We stand there looking at each other. I love you, I say. Then don't go. I have to. No, you don't. You want to. You want to see if your bunker was worth it. if you were right about everything. You want validation. I want to know if our child has a future. Our child's future is you coming back alive. She kisses me. Hard, desperate. 3 days, she says. Then I'm sealing this place and never opening it again. I nod. Hit the platform switch. The barn is dim when I surface. Morning light through the gaps in the walls. The truck sits where I left it, covered in dust. Pop the hood, check the battery. Terminals corroded but intact. Clean them, check the fluids. Everything looks functional. The key's in my pocket. I slide into the driver's seat. Turn it. Engine turns over, coughs, dies. I'll try again. It catches, runs rough, smooths out. The sound is obscene after 9 months of silence. I let it warm up, watching the barn door. Nothing responds to the noise immediately, but they'll come. Sound draws them. Load the jerry cans, secure the supplies, check the weapons. AR-15 in the passenger seat, shotgun on the rear bench, Beretta on my hip, ready as I'll ever be. Hit the barn door opener. The mechanism groans, chains rattling. The door swings wide. The property beyond is empty. Snow-covered field, tree line dark against overcast sky. Nothing moving. I ease the truck out of the barn, turn south toward the access road. The tires crunch through snow. Still nothing. Then I see them. They emerge from the woods. Dozens, maybe 100. Moving toward the truck, that jerky sprint. I floor it. The truck fishtails, finds traction, surges forward. The infected chase can't catch a truck, but they try. I watch them recede in the mirror, still running. Hit the access road doing 40. It's overgrown, barely visible, but the truck's 4-wheel drive handles it. Branches scrape the sides. Something thumps against the passenger side. Infected, that got close. I don't slow down. The main road is worse. Abandoned cars everywhere, some burned out, some just left. I weave through the obstacles, pushing 50 when I can. See infected wandering the roadside. They turn toward the engine noise, start pursuing. Can't catch me. 10 miles from the property, I pass through what used to be a small town. Population 300, now 0. Every building broken into, windows smashed. Bodies in the street, long dead. Infected wandering aimlessly. One stands in the middle of the road. I don't brake, just hit it. The truck shudders, keeps going. 20 miles, 30. The highway south is a graveyard. Military checkpoint overrun, bodies everywhere. I slow down to navigate the wreckage. See movement in the abandoned vehicles. A woman's face appears in the window of a Honda. Screaming, pounding the glass. I stop. Get out. Rifle up. Are you alive? She's screaming incoherently. I get closer, see her eyes. Blown pupils, gray skin. She's infected, trapped in the car. Keep moving. 40 miles. I'm approaching what used to be a larger town, maybe 20,000 people. Smoke rising from several buildings. The highway is blocked completely. Overturned semi, cars piled up. Have to find another route. Take an exit. Drive through residential streets. Every house is damaged. Doors kicked in, windows broken. Some burned. No sign of survivors. I'm navigating around a downed tree when they hit the truck. 3 of them, coming from a yard. They slam into the driver's side, hands scraping, faces pressed against the window. The one in front is beating the glass with a rock. I hit the gas. They fall off, except one clinging to the roof rack. I swerve hard left, then right. He goes flying. The street opens into a commercial area. Strip mall, parking lot. And in the parking lot, something I didn't expect. Survivors. A group of them, maybe 15 people, behind a barricade of shopping carts and lumber. They're fighting off infected, maybe 30 of the dead pressing against the barrier. The survivors have melee weapons, pipes, and boards, beating the infected back. I could drive past, should drive past. I stop the truck, grab the AR-15, get out, start firing into the infected mass, controlled shots, headshots when I can, center mass when I can't. The AR's report echoes across the parking lot. Infected drop. The survivors notice, start pushing harder. Between their melee attacks and my covering fire, we clear the immediate threat in 2 minutes. Bodies everywhere. One of the survivors, a big guy with a beard and a blood-stained baseball bat, approaches the truck. Hands visible, non-threatening. You military? No, just passing through. You got ammo to spare? Some. We've got food. Trade? I consider. I've got ammunition. They've got information. What's the situation? Any safe zones? Government presence? He laughs. It's not a happy sound. Government's gone, man. Military tried to hold Seattle, fell 3 months ago. And Portland's a dead zone. We're just trying to survive, day by day. Any organized groups? Heard rumors about a settlement east, over the mountains. Maybe 1,000 people. Could be bullshit. Could be raiders lying to draw people in. We haven't risked it. Why stay here? Got supplies, know the area. Better than dying on the road. Can't argue with that. I give them 2 boxes of 9mm ammunition. They give me canned food and bottled water I don't need, but the goodwill matters. You got a camp? The bearded guy asks. Somewhere safe? Yeah. Room for more? I think about the bunker. Designed for 2 people. Could maybe handle 4, uncomfortably. 15 would be impossible. No, sorry. He nods, understanding. Good luck out there. I drive away, watching them in the mirror. They're already reinforcing the barricade, or preparing for the next wave. I make it another 20 miles before the road becomes impassable. Bridge collapsed, river below. No way through in a vehicle. This is as far south as I'm getting. I sit in the truck looking at the broken bridge and think about Jessica's question. What options? There are no options. The bearded guy was right. Government's gone, society's gone. Just scattered groups clinging to whatever shelter they can find, waiting to die. The bunker isn't a tomb. It's a lifeboat, the only one we have. I turn around. The drive back takes longer. I'm exhausted, adrenaline crash hitting hard. Have to stop twice to clear infected from the road. Use the shotgun to conserve rifle ammo. The sound attracts more of them. It's a cycle. By the time I reach the property access road, it's dusk. I've been gone 14 hours. The barn is dark ahead. The truck's headlights illuminate the field. Infected everywhere. They've gathered, drawn by the earlier noise. Must be 200 of them between me and the barn. I could try to drive through. Risk getting stuck, swarmed, dying 50 feet from safety. Or I could wait them out. I park the truck on the access road, engine running, lights off. Sit in the dark watching them mill around the property. They know something's here. They're searching. Around midnight, most of them drift back toward the woods. Not gone, just waiting. I wait until 3 a.m. Then I drive, fast, straight toward the barn. Infected scatter, some chase. I don't slow down. Hit the barn door at 30 miles per hour. It explodes inward, splinters flying. The truck skids inside, slams into the far wall. Airbag deploys, punching me in the face. Ears ringing, tasting blood. Stumble out of the truck, infected pouring through the broken barn door. I'm firing the shotgun, backing toward the platform. Drop 3 of them. 4. The shotgun's empty. Draw the Beretta. Keep firing. Back onto the platform, hit the switch. It lowers. They're right at the edge, reaching down. One falls onto the platform with me, lands hard. I put 2 rounds in its skull. The platform seals. I'm in the airlock, covered in blood. Theirs and mine from the airbag impact. Shaking, alive. Jessica's there when the inner door opens. She takes one look at me and just holds on. I found survivors, I tell her later, after the decontamination, after the shower, sitting in the living room with coffee. Maybe a dozen, holding out in a parking lot. They're dying, slowly, but dying. No hope, no plan, just survival day to day until they run out of luck. And there's nothing out there for us, Jess. No safe zones, no government, no rescue. Just more infected and scattered people waiting to die. She's quiet for a long time. So we stay. We stay. We raise our child here. We survive. Maybe the infection burns out eventually. Maybe in 20 years the surface is habitable again. Or maybe this is just life now. Life in a concrete box? Life together? Life safe? Our child alive instead of dead? She puts her hand on her stomach. Okay, she says finally, okay. The next few months we prepare. I read every medical text I have about pregnancy and childbirth. Jessica starts exercising more, eating carefully, taking the prenatal vitamins I'd stocked without really thinking I'd need them. The baby grows. Jessica's belly swells. We turn the office into a nursery. I move my monitoring station to the bedroom, make room for a crib I build from storage shelves and padding. It's not pretty, but it's functional. By March, 1 year underground, Jessica's 3rd trimester. We're both terrified. I've set up the bedroom as a delivery room, sterilized equipment, read the procedures so many times I can recite them. What if something goes wrong? She asks every few days. Nothing will go wrong. You can't promise that. No. But I can promise I'll do everything possible. April brings contractions. False labor turns out. We panic for 3 hours before they stop. Practice run. The real thing starts on a Tuesday. Jessica wakes me at 4 a.m. Water broke. We go to the bedroom. I've got everything laid out. Sterile sheets, instruments, towels. I'm trying to remember everything I've read, everything I've prepared for. Labor lasts 18 hours. Jessica's in agony. I can't do anything except time contractions, offer water, hold her hand. Feel completely useless. At 10 p.m., the baby crowns. I'm supporting Jessica, coaching breathing, watching. The head emerges, shoulders. I guide the baby out. Careful, terrified I'll hurt this tiny fragile thing. It's a girl. She's not breathing. I panic. Suction her mouth and nose with a bulb syringe. Nothing. Rub her back. Nothing. Jessica's crying, asking what's wrong, and I don't have an answer. I remember something from the texts. Stimulation. I flick the bottom of the baby's feet. She coughs, takes a breath, starts crying. That sound in the concrete silence is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. I clamp and cut the cord. I'll wrap her in clean towels, hand her to Jessica. They're both crying. So am I. Our daughter, born underground, alive. We name her Hope. It's not subtle, but subtlety doesn't matter anymore. The first weeks are impossible. Hope cries constantly, needs feeding every 2 hours, sleeps in random bursts. Jessica's recovering from delivery, exhausted. I'm running on maybe 3 hours of sleep a night, trying to maintain the bunker systems and help with the baby. But she's healthy. No complications, no problems. Just a normal, healthy baby girl who happens to be living in a bunker. I'd stocked formula, knowing breastfeeding might not work. Jessica manages for the first month, then we supplement. The formula will last a year, maybe more if we ration. After that, I don't know. We'll figure something out. Diapers are the real problem. I'd stocked cloth and disposables, but even with washing and reusing, we'll run out. Start researching alternatives. Cloth strips, absorbent materials from the hydroponics substrate. It's gross, but we make it work. Hope grows. By 3 months, she's smiling. By 6 months, laughing. The sound of a baby laughing in the bunker changes everything. The walls feel less like a prison, more like a home. Jessica paints again. Different now. Bright colors. Pictures of flowers, sunshine, blue sky. Things Hope has never seen. Things we'll tell her about. She'll ask someday, Jessica says, about outside. We'll tell her the truth. What truth? That the world ended? That she'll never see it? That we love her? That we're keeping her safe? It's not enough, but it's what we have. Hope's first birthday. That we make a cake from flour and powdered eggs and sugar. Light a candle, one of the emergency candles from supplies. Sing to her. She smashes cake everywhere, delighted. I've been topside once in the past year. Quick trip, panel maintenance. The infected population has thinned. Either they're migrating, dying off, or dispersing. I count maybe 20 on the property. Still dangerous, but fewer. Maybe the infection is burning out. Maybe. Hope's learning to walk, stumbling around the bunker, grabbing furniture. The space feels smaller with 3 of us. She needs room to explore, to play. I start thinking about expansion. The bunker was designed for 2 adults, not a family. I could dig out another room, maybe. Extend the living space. It'd be dangerous. Breach the walls, expose us during construction, but possible. Or we could leave. The thought keeps coming back. Hope's never seen the sun, never felt rain, never seen another person besides us. That's no life. But the alternative is death. I'm monitoring the cameras one night when I see something strange. Lights in the distance. Moving lights, like flashlights or headlamps. A lot of them. I watch for an hour. The lights move systematically, searching. Then they're gone. People. Living people. Organized, searching for something. Or searching for somewhere. The next week, the lights come back. Closer this time. I can make out figures on the cameras. Maybe 30 people, armed, moving in formation. Military discipline. They pass the property without stopping. But they're out there. I don't tell Jessica. Not yet. I need more information. 2 weeks later, I go topside. Full gear, heavily armed. But I'm not going to the barn roof. I'm going toward where I saw the lights. It takes me an hour of careful movement through the woods. I find their trail, broken branches, boot prints, empty ration packages. Follow it east. 3 miles from the property, I find their camp. It's big. Maybe 200 people. Tents, vehicles, defensive perimeter, organized, disciplined. And on a flag in the center of camp, a symbol I recognize. U.S. Army. I watch from the tree line for 2 hours. Soldiers on patrol, civilians cooking, doing laundry, children playing, actual society, functioning. One of the soldiers spots me. Contact! Tree line! I raise my hands, rifle slung. I'm not infected, human. 3 soldiers approach, weapons trained. I stay very still. Identify yourself. Brian Henderson. I'm a survivor. Here I have a shelter nearby. How many in your group? 3. Me, my wife, our daughter. They lower the weapons slightly. Come with us. Colonel will want to talk to you. The camp is overwhelming after a year underground. Noise, people, activity. I'm led to a command tent. The colonel is a woman in her 50s, tired eyes, but sharp. Mr. Henderson, I'm Colonel Martinez. You say you have a shelter? Yes, ma'am. Underground bunker, fully self-sustaining. How long have you been isolated? 13 months. She nods. We're establishing a safe zone, clearing the area of infected, building a perimeter. We've got about 500 people now, growing daily. We're looking for survivors, supplies, strategic locations. What happened? Last I heard, Seattle fell. It did, but the infection spread has slowed. We think it's hit saturation. The dead are decaying, becoming less mobile. We're pushing back, reclaiming territory. It's slow, but we're winning. Winning. The word sounds impossible. We could use your bunker, she continues. As a supply depot, fallback position. We'd compensate you, provide protection, integrate you into the zone. I need to talk to my wife. Of course. But Mr. Henderson, this is happening. We're rebuilding. You can be part of it, or you can stay in your hole. Your choice. I'm escorted back to the property boundary. Walk back to the barn in a daze. Jessica's feeding hope when I come through the airlock. You were gone 5 hours. I found the army. They're building a safe zone. 200 people, maybe more. She freezes. They want to use the bunker as a strategic location. They're offering protection, integration. Integration into what? Civilization, society, whatever we're rebuilding. Hope babbles, reaching for me. I pick her up. She's so big now, walking, talking a few words, growing up in concrete and artificial light. She could see the sun, I say quietly. Jessica's crying. She could play with other children, see the sky, live. What if it's a trick? What if they're raiders? They're army, legitimate. I saw the organization, the discipline. What if the infection comes back? What if it doesn't? What if this is our chance? We sit in silence, Hope playing with my fingers. I'm scared, Jessica says. Me too. But you want to do this. I want Hope to have more than this. She looks around the bunker, our home, our prison, our salvation. Okay, she says. Okay, and then let's see the sun. The integration takes weeks. We don't just throw open the doors. Colonel Martinez sends a liaison, a young lieutenant named Davis. He coordinates, explains the process. The safe zone perimeter is expanding. They'll clear our property, establish defenses, then integrate the bunker into their network. We watch on the cameras as Army patrols sweep the area. They kill every infected they find, methodical and efficient. Burn the bodies, clear the fields. It takes them 3 days to make the property safe. On the 4th day, we go topside together. I'm carrying Hope. Jessica's beside me. We ride the platform up, and when the barn doors open, actual sunlight hits us for the first time in 13 months. Hope screams. The brightness terrifies her. She buries her face in my shoulder. It's okay, baby. It's okay. We step outside. The property is unrecognizable. Army vehicles everywhere. Soldiers on patrol. The grass has been cut, the fields cleared. Our house has been repaired, reinforced. It's normal. Davis meets us. Welcome back to the world. Jessica's crying, but she's smiling. Hope's peeking out, curious. The sky is blue. The air smells like pine and earth and life. We're alive. We're safe. We're home. That night, we sleep in the house. In our actual bedroom, in the bed we bought when we first moved here. Windows open, curtains moving in the breeze. Hope in her crib beside us. I lie awake listening to normal sounds. Wind in the trees. Distant voices from the patrol. Jessica breathing beside me. You saved us, she whispers. We saved each other. No. You built the bunker. You kept us alive. You gave Hope a chance. I just did what I had to. You did more than that. I don't know what to say, so I just hold her. The safe zone grows. More survivors found, integrated. The perimeter expands. The infection is dying out, slowly. The dead are rotting, falling apart. Still dangerous, but manageable now. We keep the bunker, use it for storage, emergency shelter. But we live topside. Hope plays in the fields, watches clouds, learns what grass feels like. She's 2 now, talking in full sentences, curious about everything. Other children arrived with new survivors. Hope has friends, real friends. Jessica teaches again. The safe zone established a school. 20 kids, all ages. She's happier than I've seen her in years. I work with the engineering corps, helping build infrastructure, power systems, water treatment. Using everything I learned, building the bunker to help build something bigger. It's not perfect. We lose people to infected attacks. Resources are tight. There's conflict, politics, all the normal human problems. But we're alive. We're together. We're rebuilding. 3 years after the outbreak, the safe zone has 1,500 people. We've cleared a 20-mile radius, established farms, workshops, a clinic. It's not the old world, but it's our world. Hope's 4 now. She asked me yesterday what the bunker was for. It kept us safe, I told her. When things were bad, it kept us alive. Are things still bad? Sometimes. But we're making them better. Can I see inside? I take her down. Show her the hydroponics lab where she was born, the living room where we spent a year, the bedroom. She's fascinated, asking questions. Did you like it down here? No, but I'm glad we had it. Why? Because it meant I got to meet you. She thinks about that, serious. I'm glad too, Daddy. We go back topside. The sun's setting, painting the sky orange and pink. Hope's never seen a sunset quite like this. She stares, amazed. It's pretty, she says. Yeah, it is. Jessica joins us on the porch. We sit together, watching the day end. Tomorrow there will be work, always work. Defenses to maintain, people to protect, civilization to rebuild. But tonight, we just watch the sky and hold our daughter and remember what we survived. The bunker's still there. Sealed, maintained, ready, just in case. But we don't live in fear anymore. We live in hope. And that makes all the difference. I think about the man I was, building that shelter, preparing for the worst, never imagining I'd actually need it, never imagining it would save my family. Would I do it again? Build the bunker, spend the money, take the risk? Every single time. Because hope is here. Because Jessica is here. Because we're alive and together, and that's everything. The world ended. We survived. And now we're building something new. That's enough. That has to be enough. And somehow, impossibly, it is. 4 years after emergence from the bunker, the safe zone has become something more substantial. We call it Haven now. Not because we're safe, but because we're trying to be. The population hovers around 3,000. People keep coming in from the wilderness, ragged and traumatized, carrying stories of isolated survival, of losses too heavy to name. I'm on the engineering council now, when we meet twice a week in what used to be the community center of the small town at the heart of our territory. The building's been reinforced, expanded, turned into the administrative hub. Today we're arguing about expansion again. We don't have the manpower to extend the perimeter another 5 miles, says Gordon, the grizzled former contractor who heads construction. We're stretched thin as it is. We've got farmland out there, counters Dr. Sarah Chen, who manages agricultural development. We need it. Population's growing faster than our food production. Then we need to slow down immigration. Gordon shoots back. We're not turning away survivors. Colonel Martinez, she's technically retired now, but everyone still calls her Colonel, speaks with finality. We find a way to make it work. I've been quiet studying the maps, and the proposed expansion would include our original property, incorporate the bunker officially into Haven's infrastructure. What if we don't extend the perimeter, I say? What if we fortify what we have, make it tighter, more efficient? Use the bunker as a model, self-sustaining systems, redundancy, conservation. They listen. I've earned credibility here. The bunker's become a legend of sorts. The family that survived a year underground emerged healthy. People want to know how. I've started teaching classes, sustainable systems, water reclamation, hydroponics. The things I learned obsessively before the outbreak are valuable now. Hope's in kindergarten. Real school with other kids. Curriculum cobbled together from salvaged textbooks and teacher memory. Jessica teaches the older kids, middle school age, and the ones who remember the world before. It's hard for them. They've lost so much. But the young ones, Hope's age, they're adapting. This is their normal. I watch her sometimes on the playground, a cleared field with equipment built from scavenged materials. And she's just a kid. Playing tag, laughing, skinning her knees. She doesn't remember the bunker clearly anymore. Good. Though sometimes she asks about it. Wants to go down, explore. I've started taking her monthly. Let her see the hydroponics, the systems. She's fascinated by how it all works. Could we live down here again? She asked last time. If we had to. I don't want to. Me neither, sweetheart. Me neither. But I keep it maintained. Run the systems weekly. Test the generators. Rotate the stored supplies. Just because we don't need it now doesn't mean we won't. The infected are rare now. Patrols find maybe one a week, shambling through the woods, so decomposed they're barely mobile. We kill them efficiently, burn the remains. The infection burned hot and fast, saturated the population, then began its decline as the hosts decayed. We think maybe 5% of the original population survived. Worldwide, that's still hundreds of millions. But scattered, isolated, struggling. Radio contact is spotty. We've heard from settlements in California, Nevada, British Columbia. Everyone's in the same situation. Small groups, fragile stability, constant threat of collapse. But we're talking planning, the beginnings of trade routes, shared knowledge, coordination. It feels like something. Like maybe civilization isn't dead, just wounded. In the evenings, after Hope's in bed, Jessica and I sit on our porch. The house has been fully repaired, expanded. We've got neighbors now, 4 families on our road. We can see their lights through the trees. Feels almost normal, Jessica says. Almost. Think it'll last? Has to. What's the alternative? She leans against me. We've been through hell together. Come out the other side changed, but intact. I'm pregnant again, she says quietly. I freeze. What? 3 months. I was waiting to be sure. Jesus, Jess. I know it's crazy, but Hope needs a sibling, and I want to believe we have a future. I think about delivering another baby, the terror of Hope's birth, but also the joy. Okay, I say. Okay, we can do this. We've done harder things. She's right. The pregnancy progresses. This time there's a clinic, an actual doctor. Ma Patel, who was an OB/GYN before. She monitors Jessica, provides care. It's not a hospital, but it's infinitely better than me panicking with medical textbooks. Hope's excited about being a big sister. She helps Jessica pick out baby clothes from the salvage depot. the communal storage of everything recovered from abandoned homes and stores. It's strange, shopping through the remnants of dead people's lives. But waste is a luxury we can't afford. The baby comes in January. A boy this time, easier delivery, faster. Dr. Patel handles it with calm competence. He's healthy, loud, perfect. We name him Thomas after Jessica's father. 2 kids now. The house feels full, loud, alive. I'm working on a project with the engineering team, building a secondary power grid. Solar panels salvaged from across the region, battery storage. In trying to create reliable electricity for Haven. We've got generators running, but fuel is finite. Solar is forever. It's slow work. Every panel has to be tested, repaired if needed, installed carefully. But we're making progress. Parts of Haven have consistent power now. Streetlights that actually work. Refrigeration for the clinic. Small victories that feel enormous. Hope's 7 now. Thomas is 3. They play together constantly, fighting and laughing in equal measure. The house is chaos. I love it. We've converted part of the bunker into a community resource. The hydroponics lab is now a teaching facility. I run workshops twice a month, showing people how to grow food in confined spaces, manage nutrients, troubleshoot systems. It's become my purpose. Teaching people to survive, to build resilience. Because the infected might be gone, but danger isn't. We've had crop failures, disease outbreaks, a fire that destroyed 2 buildings. The world is still hostile. We have to stay sharp. One morning I'm teaching a class when a commotion outside interrupts. People shouting. I leave the students with the systems, head topside. The patrols returned early. They're bringing someone, a woman, maybe 40, emaciated and filthy, but alive. Found her 10 miles out, the patrol leader says. She was alone, says she's been surviving solo for 2 years. 2 years alone. I can't imagine it. They take her to the clinic. I visit later. She's cleaned up, eating slowly under Dr. Patel's supervision. Looks like she weighs 90 pounds. I'm Brian, I say. Welcome to Haven. She looks at me with eyes that have seen too much. This real? As real as anything is anymore. How many people? About 3,000. She starts crying, just breaks down. I sit with her until she can speak again. I thought I was the only one left, she whispers. I thought everyone was gone. Not everyone. We're still here. She stays, integrates slowly. Jessica helps her adjust. They bond over the shared experience of surviving impossible things. Her name is Patricia. She'd been a librarian before. Now she helps organize Haven's communal library, cataloging books salvaged from abandoned homes. Preserving knowledge. It's what we all do. Find new purposes from old skills. Years pass. Hope's 10, Thomas is 6. We've had another child, a daughter named Grace. 3 kids in a post-apocalyptic settlement. It feels audacious, hopeful. The bunker is rarely used now except for storage and training. But I still maintain it. Still run the systems, check the seals, still stock supplies. Jessica notices. You think it'll happen again, she says one night. I think being prepared kept us alive once. Might again. We're safe here, Brian. We've built something. I know. But safe is relative. She doesn't argue. She understands. Haven's grown to 5,000 people. We've established trade with 3 other settlements. Share resources, knowledge, gene pools. That last one matters. Too much isolation leads to inbreeding. We're thinking generationally now. About the future, not just survival. Hope's becoming a young woman, 13 now, tall and curious and fierce. She wants to be a doctor like Dr. Patel. Studies constantly, volunteers at the clinic. Thomas is 9 and mechanically minded like me. He spends hours in my workshop, learning electronics, engineering, wants to understand how everything works. Grace is 6, artistic like her mother, draws constantly, sees beauty in everything. They've never known the old world. This is their normal. Sometimes I wonder what we've lost. The convenience, the abundance, the illusion of safety. But we've gained things too. Community, purpose, appreciation for what we have. I'm 42 now. Gray in my beard, lines around my eyes. Jessica's 39, still beautiful, still fierce. We've aged years in a decade, but we're alive, together. That's everything. One evening I take Hope down to the bunker. She's old enough now to understand it fully. "This is where I was born?" she asks, standing in the bedroom. "Right here, during a storm, middle of the night. You came into the world screaming. Were you scared?" "Terrified. I'd never been more scared in my life. But you did it anyway. Because I had to. Because you needed to be born, and your mom needed help, and there was no one else." She's quiet, absorbing this. "I want to learn," she says. "How to do what you did. Survive. Build systems. Keep people alive." Pride swells in my chest. "I'll teach you everything I know." And I do. Over the next year, I train her. The hydroponics, the water systems, the power grid, the engineering principles, the redundancy planning, the mindset of survival. She's a natural, quick to learn, intuitive with systems. Thomas joins us sometimes. Grace less interested, but she listens. I'm building the next generation of survivors, teaching them to be ready. Because the world ended once, and it could end again. Haven's population stabilizes around 7,000. We've claimed a territory of about 100 square miles, defended by patrols and watchtowers. Farms producing food, workshops making tools, a small hospital providing healthcare. It's not the old world, but it's our world, and it's growing. Trade routes have expanded. We're in contact with settlements across 3 states, sharing resources, coordinating defenses, beginning to talk about larger organization. Some people want to rebuild the government. Others resist, remembering how it failed before. I stay out of politics mostly. Focus on the practical. Keep the systems running. Teach the next generation. But I attend council meetings when they need technical input. Today they're discussing a disturbing report. A settlement in Idaho went dark 2 weeks ago. A radio silence. A scouting party found it abandoned. Not destroyed, not attacked. Just empty. 700 people gone. Where did they go? Someone asks. No one has answers. It's unsettling. Reminds us how fragile this all is. That night I check the bunker thoroughly. Test every system. Rotate all the supplies. Make sure the weapons are clean, the ammunition dry. Jessica finds me at midnight, still working. "You're spiraling." "I'm being cautious." "You're being obsessive." "Maybe. Probably. I need to know we have a fallback. If Haven fails, it won't fail. You don't know that." She sits beside me in the mechanical room, among the generators and filters. "No, I don't. But I know we can't live in fear. We have to trust what we've built. I trust the engineering. I don't trust people not to screw it up. Then we do our best and hope. That's all we can do." She's right. I know she's right. But I keep the bunker ready anyway. Hope's 16 now. A young woman, confident and capable. She's been accepted into the medical training program. Dr. Patel's taking on apprentices, training the next generation of healthcare workers. Thomas is 12, already helping with maintenance on Haven's infrastructure. Natural engineer. Grace is 9, thriving in the community school. Her artwork displayed in the community center. 3 kids, growing up in a world we rebuilt from ashes. Jessica and I are in our 40s, feeling it, but we're healthy, purposeful. We've survived. One spring morning, alarms sound across Haven. Not the infection alarm. We haven't heard that in years. The intruder alarm. Someone's at the perimeter, a group, armed. I grab my rifle, I still keep it close, old habits, and head to the southern gate. Colonel Martinez is already there, negotiating with whoever's outside. It's a convoy. 5 trucks, maybe 50 people. They look organized, well supplied. Their leader is a man in his 50s, military bearing. I'm Captain Reynolds, formerly U.S. Army. We're from a settlement in Oregon. We've come to propose an alliance. An alliance between settlements. The beginning of something larger. Colonel Martinez invites them in. Over the next week, we negotiate, share resources, establish communication protocols, plan coordinated expansion. It's not government, not yet. But it's organization beyond just survival. It's the future beginning to take shape. Hope asks me one night, "Do you think we'll rebuild it, the way it was before?" I don't know. Maybe something different. Hopefully something better. What was it like before? I think about the old world, the abundance, the waste, the illusion of infinite resources. It was easier in a lot of ways, harder in others. We had everything and appreciated nothing. Do you miss it? Sometimes. But I wouldn't trade what we have now. This community, this purpose, you, your siblings, your mom, this is real in a way the old world never was. She considers this. "I'm glad you built the bunker," she says. "Me too, kiddo. Me too." The alliance between settlements grows. Within 2 years, we're coordinating with 20 communities across 5 states. Not a government, but the foundation of one. They want to call it the Pacific Confederation, a network of independent settlements sharing resources and defense. I'm asked to serve on the engineering council at the Confederation level, helping design infrastructure standards, sustainability requirements, redundancy protocols. Everything I learned building the bunker, scaled up for civilization. It's daunting, exciting, terrifying. Jessica's the education director for our region now, developing curriculum, training teachers, ensuring the next generation has knowledge. Our kids are part of that generation. Hope's 18, in medical school. Thomas is 14, apprenticing with the engineering corps. Grace is 11, showing talent in both art and science. They'll build the new world. We're just laying the foundation. I'm 50 now. Gray-haired, weathered. The bunker is 21 years old, still functional, and still maintained. I take my grandchildren down sometimes. Hope had a son last year, named him after me. Little Brian, crawling around the hydroponics lab while I explain the systems to his mother. 3 generations. From the old world through the collapse into whatever comes next. The bunker is a memorial now, as much as a resource. A reminder of what we survived. But we don't live there anymore. We live in the light. Jessica and I sit on our porch on a summer evening, 51 and 48, watching the sun set over Haven. 7,000 people, lights coming on as dusk falls, our children and grandchildren nearby. "We made it," she says quietly. We did. Was it worth it? All of it? I think about the fear, the isolation, the near-death experiences, the year underground, the uncertain years building Haven, not the constant struggle. Then I think about our family, the community, the future taking shape. Every second, I say. She takes my hand. We've survived the end of the world and built a new one from the ashes. And somehow, impossibly, we've made it beautiful. The bunker's still there, deep beneath the earth, sealed and ready just in case. But we don't need it anymore. We have hope instead. Thanks for watching, guys. I will be back with another story.